Good afternoon, if you're watching along. So the 1961 Mini is tomorrow. So this is sort of your final call. We'll probably touch base a little bit tomorrow as well because Molly's in tomorrow. But this is the last opportunity to get your 1961 Austin Mini tickets. I personally, hello by the way, Rob's behind the camera. Yeah, so we just thought we'd come on today and see if there's any questions, if you wanted to know anything about any of the cars, or if you wanted to have a little closer look at the Austin as well. Massively undersold. It's done all right, but it's, what, 2,000? Just over 2,000 tickets
just over
still
2,000 left.
So if you're in the draw, you've got way better odds than you would have had previously. But the odds, like all of our competitions, are pretty good anyway. So grab yourself a ticket for this if you haven't already done so. I would probably say this is one of my favourite Minis that we had. So the story of this Mini is a couple of years ago we were contacted by a lady who, fairly local to us, and this was in her garage. This belonged to her dad. I don't know whether he passed away or he just wasn't using it anymore. But this was a couple of years ago, and at the time it was just to have a look at it and value it with a view of possibly selling it one day. And then 2 or 3 years passed, we hadn't heard anything, and then all of a sudden we got a phone call to say that the car was now available. So we went back, had a look, exactly the same condition as 2 or 3 years previously. It's been nicely stored in a dry place, so we took it out. We've given it a full recommission, so we've done all of the brakes, we've done absolutely everything that needs to be done on this car. We've given it a really good clean, and this is the result. So it's not been painted, it's not been restored, it is literally as good as it looks. So I personally think I wouldn't touch it if I were you, because it is just absolutely right as it is. Like I say, I would probably go as far as to say this is one of the nicest ones we've done. We've done a lot of Minis. We've got a lot of Minis in at the moment. This is my favourite one. So you've got a 10 grand cash alternative on this one as well tomorrow as well. So if the car's not for you, but you prefer to have the money, then it's worth getting a ticket just for the money. But the value of these cars, as you probably know, is quite a bit higher than the £10,000. So if you have the choice, I'd just think carefully about that one.
I think this is going to be controversial, but there's been lots of conflict about the wheel arches, but I actually think it looks quite cool. I know it's not original, and I know if you're a purist it's horrendous, but I actually think
you get it all the time. I mean, you just get used to it. These cars, it's probably like this one that I'm leaning on now. When this one gets launched, I mean, blimey, it's a Lotus Cortina, and I'm sure you're going to get people going, it's not right, it's not factory standard. But that's what you did back in the day, and it's the same with this. No, it's not going to please everybody. It's a small job to get it painted, really, if you wanted to. I like it. I like it as it is.
I just think those little bits, they just add to like the story of the car.
And that's the thing with Minis, they've all got a story. I mean, that probably didn't come with the John Player special graphics on it, but that's what people do to make it their own. So a few people have said about the seats as well, that they would change the seats. I think I've had a couple of those comments, but you can't win them all. I mean, it's a Mini, it's a beautiful little Mini, it's absolutely bang on. When our mince pie drive just before Christmas, Molly and the Cordettes were in this, they said it was brilliant. We went around Ipswich, it was raining or snowing or something, and they had a whale of a time. It is just one of those cars. It's really, really lovely. And like I say, it's undersold. So there's about 2,000 tickets still left on that. So grab a ticket if you want to. Is there any other questions? Anyone asking?
No, nothing as yet. We've got a few people watching.
Should we have a little look at the other cars?
Yeah.
So we've got a Mini start over here. So we've got this Mini. Everything in here is competition apart from the Riley. They're fairly well scheduled between now and March, I think we're up to at the moment. So we're giving it a little break from Minis. We don't want to sort of go from Mini to Mini. But this is fairly soon. This is even sooner. We've had this for quite a while.
This is Molly's favourite.
Yeah, I think this is going to do amazingly well. I've wanted to do a Fiat 500 for a while. Getting a right-hand drive one is difficult these days.
I think Molly hopes that it does very bad so she can have it.
Yeah. So you've got that one. I don't think it will do very bad though, Molly.
No, I don't either.
Then you've got the 250 V8, the Ferrari 400. That's a really, really special car. That's coming up very, very soon. It's worth just talking about. I'll talk about the website in a second. So that's going to be next week. What's happening tomorrow?
This week, isn't it?
Next week. What are we on now?
Monday.
this week,
Yeah.
end of this week. So what's happening tomorrow is something we haven't done before, but it's nothing to worry about. When the Mini finishes tomorrow at 4 o'clock, there will be no vehicles on the website for probably about a day. We've never done that in the whole 5 years of having competitions. We've always had something running. But we're upgrading the website. At the moment, we're basically merging 2 websites into one, so it doesn't all go wrong. We thought, well, let's just give it a break for, I reckon, 24 hours. But if it's only a few hours to merge the 2, then that's going to be your next car to see. If not, you're probably looking at, certainly by the end of the week, you'll have the opportunity of getting your tickets to the Ferrari. I don't know how that's going to go. What do you think?
I'm not sure. See, I think it's one of those cars where you see you can win a Ferrari for a few pounds. Like, that's a great idea. As long as the logical part of your brain doesn't kick in and be like, it's a Ferrari, though.
Well, I think that's the beauty of our competitions. Obviously, we try and do the Triumphs and the MGs and the everyday classic cars. We drop in a couple of these every now and again. But you're 100% right. I mean, would you go out and spend thousands on one? I don't know, but if you could win one for a few quid.
Well, I think so. Earlier on today, Tony, who won our Ferrari sculpture, he was in the Classic Lounge, and we had this conversation, and he said that he would, if he won the Ferrari, he'd keep it for a year, just have loads of fun with it, and then sell it on from there, which I think is probably what I would do. Just enjoy it.
And the thing is, it is a tourer. Even though it is a classic Ferrari, you could, if you wanted to, take it to France or something like that. I think that's what it was used for, was sort of touring before the guy decided to...
I really enjoy the interior of this.
I just love the car.
Yeah.
I think the colour of it, it's unusual, you don't see many of them. I just think it's really, really pretty. So yeah, that's going to be our next competition. Like I say, we'll have a little tiny break from the website, but nothing to worry about if you go on and you don't see any cars. It's purely because we're hopefully doing an upgrade and making everything a lot more seamless and everyone that little bit happier. But the reason why we're on now is tomorrow, 4 o'clock, we go live and we give away our Austin Mini. I'll talk about the drinks actually in a minute.
So Adrian says you'll probably find that the Ferrari will sell out quicker than any other car you've offered.
Do you reckon?
That's, fingers crossed.
Yeah, see, we did a Mondial, which did okay,
Yeah.
and the 308, which in my opinion is one of the best Ferraris around. I can't remember if they didn't fly off the shelf.
No, because we did the Mondial the same time as your DB9.
That's
So
right.
there was
That was
two,
a Christmas draw, wasn't it?
two really special cars
Yeah.
on at the same time.
Yeah, nice cars then. And the 308, like I say, I think they did okay, but like the Porsche 911 the other day, selling out in 15 hours. I don't think it will do that. You never know. You never know.
But saying that, I think tickets for this are £9, aren't they?
Are they? They might. Yeah. They're not.
No.
High. It's not a high ticket
No,
one.
for
high
that
value.
calibre of car,
Absolutely.
the ticket is a low price one.
Yeah, definitely. So the Austin Mini is tomorrow, 4 o'clock. The draw for that is you've got about 2,000 tickets still left on that. I reckon it will go past the 2,000 mark, so you'll probably be looking at sort of 1,900 tickets possibly left tomorrow on that. You never know. Might absolutely fly and sell out. And even if it does, the odds are really, really good on that. So I'd grab a ticket for that, or the £10,000 cash alternative if you want that instead. A couple of cars have left us, so we've got the TR3's not been delivered yet, but that was in this space last week. So that's over in the workshops being done, and that's going to be delivered later in the week. And our little MG midget.
So Ted from our Ted Mini, our Ted Mini, he said, "What about the other Mini?" Which I'm guessing is this one.
There we go. So here's the other Mini. So we've not discussed this one yet. So when's this going to be live? This is soon.
Yes,
So
I
this
can't
is-
remember if I'm honest.
This has got its own Instagram channel, or it did have. So the story of this Mini, we know where it came from. It's come from a restorer and a body shop. Absolutely beautiful car. The plan for this was it was going to be a competition car on their own site, and then I don't think they'd shy away. They don't mind me telling you. It's harder than you think running competitions, and when they started planning it and they were like, oh, didn't realise all the legalities and stuff involved in it, so they decided it probably wasn't as a one-off hit to do a competition. It was probably going to be too expensive to try and do. So we had a conversation with them and bought the car. So this is very soon. This is totally ready to go. You could take it to shows. You can just enjoy it, get in it and use it as your everyday car if you wanted to.
Am I right in saying he used this as his
You
everyday?
did? Yeah, he used it. Yes, there's some really lovely pictures of this. We haven't really done much with it yet, have we?
No, not yet. But there's lots of, like you said, on the Instagram, channel, there's loads of images and loads of
Yeah,
info
we'll start
about it.
sharing that so you can see all of the previous images and you'll see when it was restored and what it looked
And
like
it's
before.
local to us, isn't it?
Yeah, Ipswich.
Yeah.
So there's that one. And also, just before we disappear, carry on with your questions if there's anything else you want to see. We've also got this being drawn tomorrow, but this is only being drawn for our members. So, Ricky Gervais, if you're watching, is coming to Ipswich tomorrow. Yeah, he'll watch. He's coming to Ipswich tomorrow to do his tour. It's appearing in Ipswich and he's here for 2 nights. So you'll probably see his adverts all over the place for his Dutch barn, which is this one here. That's the original Dutch barn. And then about a month or two ago, he released a limited edition range, which is everything you see here. So we got it. And just to celebrate the fact that Ricky Gervais is going to be in Ipswich tomorrow, we're doing a draw tomorrow. But this one is only for our members. So that's one of the things that we're going to be doing more this year. If you're a member of the Classic Lounge, you'll be invited to a lot more events that are going to be happening here only for our members. And we're going to drop in the occasional competition as well. So tomorrow's draw is going to be for our full lineup of Dutch Barn vodka. And obviously a couple of weeks ago we had the Coach Built whiskey, which was for members as well. So that's going to be a really good one. I'm looking forward to it. I've not actually tried. I've tried the vodka, the normal one, because I've got that at home, but I haven't tried these.
So I believe I'm right in saying that all of the others have that as a base, and then they add to it.
I'm assuming so.
So
yeah.
it's all the same, but with different flavours.
So you'll like this. This is all sustainable as well. He talks about that quite a lot.
I do.
So it's made from apples that are grown in the UK, and it's part of a distillery that he's now involved in. So we're looking forward to Ricky Gervais coming to Ipswich tomorrow. I'm going along with Nick, who's normally on camera. He's coming along as well tomorrow. But yes, that's going to be drawn tomorrow. The Austin Mini is going to be drawn tomorrow. 2,000 tickets still left on that, so grab a ticket for that. Even if you don't want the car, but you fancy £10,000, it's well worth just getting a ticket because of that as well. And then we've got some great cars coming up. So like I say, we've got the Fiat, the Ferrari up soon. The Fiat 500 is up soon. The MGB is up soon as well. Lotus Cortina hasn't been shot yet, but that's it. So everything you see in here is very soon. And then we've got a few more coming up as well that aren't in here at the moment. A modern Aston Martin is coming up as well, which I haven't even seen. That arrived last week. I've not seen that at all yet.
And the Beetle?
Beetle is coming up. What else have we got?
There's so much coming in and out. I always lose track of where everything is.
So if you fancy being in with a chance as well of the Dutch Barn vodka tomorrow, grab a membership now. So the membership's really good. So we're standing in the Classic Lounge now. The Classic Lounge in an evening, some evenings, becomes a private venue where we have live music. We've got celebrity guests coming this year that it's only going to be open to our members to start with. And it's going to be limited to sort of 50, 60 people will be in here at any one time. So you get access to that. As part of being a member, if you're local to us in Suffolk, you don't have to be, by the way, but if you are local to us in Suffolk, you get the use of this space as well. So if you own your own business and you want this as a business meeting venue, you can do that. We've got the boardroom. This is yours, other than a Tuesday afternoon where we need it. But you're more than welcome to come in at any time. As part of the membership as well, you get 20% off all competitions. You get 20% off car storage, 20% off photo shoots, essentially 20% off everything. What else do you get as part of the membership?
You get a nice members pack.
Get a nice members pack, so you get the t-shirt and the brooch, and you get access to various places as well throughout the UK. So we're sort of quite pally with a few decent places. Bewley is one, so we're going to hopefully do a lot more with people like that as well. So it's well worth getting a membership just for the 20%. I mean, if you're quite regularly buy competition tickets off us, then it's worth getting it for the 20% discount, because that discount kicks in on anything. So if we do a launch, which is already cheaper than the everyday price, you'll then get 20% off that launch as well. So I think the Porsche, some people, our members, would have got it for a couple of quid, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And getting that discount, so not only do you hear about the competitions first, you get a discount on top of the discount, so you can win a car before anyone else knows about it, and for less money than anyone else is going to pay for it.
So we were talking about it with Tony, who came in to pick up his sculpture, and we were talking about the membership. We didn't kind of realise until we were telling him what sort of incentives you get. how good it actually is. So that's £150. You're not tied in after a year. Doesn't auto renew or anything like that. So I think it's really good value. So that's it. If there's no more questions, Austin Mini is tomorrow. It's 2,000 tickets still left on it. Probably won't sell out, but I think it's gonna do okay. So 4 o'clock tomorrow is that one. The Dutch Barn vodka for our members, that'll also be drawn tomorrow as well. So grab yourself a membership now, or grab yourself a ticket for the Austin Mini or £10,000. Molly is here tomorrow. Nick is off. He's normally on camera. He's not well, but he might be here tomorrow. That's it. If there's nothing else, then we'll see you tomorrow.